Hello and welcome back to Sandra's Shelf. A long time no see. I'm sorry about that. I apologize. But today I am back with a brand new video and I have done something different this time. I know I usually talk about self-help and I guess you could call this self-help as well because it's more like in the beauty hair category and how to like basically dye your hair at home and basically save money and all that jazz. So let me just break down the video for you. So first of all, I'm going to explain what exactly pushed me to change my hair color at home again, and literally what inspired me, what motivated me, what was the research that I did. And then after that, I'm going to include some clips and possibly with some voiceover explaining exactly what I did to achieve this copper hair color. So a few weeks ago, I was browsing on TikTok and I saw this copper hair trend, and especially going into the fall season, I saw a lot of girls that were dyeing their blonde hair, their mixed colored hair, their black hair into copper. And obviously I wanted to try that by myself at home as well to save money because my hair is very thick. And so every time I go to the hairdresser, and I haven't gone to the hairdresser for about 3 years now, but every time I go, they're like, okay, your hair is so thick, if you want to bleach it, cut it, dye it, it's gonna be at least $300 to $400. So I wanted to save that cost and I dyed my hair for $40 using 6 box dyes. So yes, and the whole labor process was 6 hours and it was my own labor. So yeah, it saved me time, and I think if I went to the hairdresser it would have taken about the same amount of time because you know you have to wait in between washes and you have to put basically the dye everywhere, right? So yes. Now you might be sitting there and saying to yourself, well Sandra, your hair is not really copper, it's more like red. I do agree, however, we're not in broad daylight. I have some clips of me in broad daylight that I will try to insert to show you that the color is actually much lighter than you can see. You know, if I come more close to the light, you'll see some flecks of colors that are different, lighter, redder, copper. So yes, basically I have a red copperish, and that was a bit my fault because I bought a red copper dye plus a copper dye. So if I would have just stuck to copper and bought more copper dye, like strictly copper with no red in it, then it would have turned out more copper like you see here. But I actually do really like the red and I think it complements my feature pretty nicely. How did I come about dyeing my hair and getting more or less the results that I was aiming for that I saw on TikTok? So basically I did what every other human being does when they want to dye their hair at home. I went on YouTube, I went on TikTok, and I figured out more or less what people did depending on what hair color they had beginning and what products they were recommending. So I figured out that if I wanted to have a light, nice copper hair, I would have to bleach my hair. So before this, I had dark brown hair with a little bit of dye at the, I would say, 3/4 mark because I had dyed my hair so many times in the past. So now every time I dye my hair, it takes a few months for like lighter colors to come back out. I would say midway, 3/4 inside my hair, but the root itself is like a very dark brown. So I knew that I would have to lighten up my roots for sure and put more on the top part where my roots were really dark, and the rest I could put just a bit just to lighten it because you can see here there's some lighting flecks. So yes, that's what I assumed either way that I had to do. But if I go into the sunlight, you'll see that the top part is actually very light right now, and I did that by purpose because I know it won't take much time before it becomes again very dark. So yes. Now my mistake here is I'm gonna put down the dyes that I got this color. It's by Belle color, and I got it from Shoppers. I live in Canada, so I got it from Shoppers, but they also have them at Walmart in Canada, so I'm gonna link it down below. Maybe you can find an equivalent in Amazon and ship it anywhere in the world, hopefully. If not, I would say like Garnier hair color and all those other famous brands are also good for dyeing the hair, because I usually use those ones as well. Now the point where I made a mistake is that the first hair dye I bought like very blonde hair dye. Like I said, all the colors and the details will be linked down below, so I don't remember everything by number and colors specifically in my head, but I will put them on the screen. I'll put photos and I'll put everything in the link down below. The first dye that you'll see that I did by myself is actually very blonde hair dye, and I thought I was getting bleach in it, but I actually didn't get any bleach in it. So halfway through I realized how much I effed up, and I just went with it, because at that point I was already committed and I had to go out that night, so I had to dye my hair no matter what and fix as much as I could the damage I had done, which is basically having not bleached it. So however, I got lucky because I went to shower after half an hour. You know, I let the color sink in, and when I came out of shower, all the roots were much lighter. Like they were almost like a light brown, I would say orange. I'll again insert clips, and then I was like, okay, let's see how it's gonna look when I mix the copper red with the copper dyes together. So that was the other 4 boxes. Put it everywhere, go shower and see what comes out. And so this, I would say my hair, the result of my hair now is after 2 separate washes after that first wash, after I put the copper red hair color. So far it's getting lighter at places, and it's also getting a bit darker at places, but right now it's just a very nice red copperish color, especially when I go, like I said, in broad daylight. So right now we're inside my house. There's like, you know, blinds and a lot of things like that are preventing the sunlight to hit my hair, but you could see at some points here, like especially here, there is some copper flecks. And actually doing this mixed hair dye color, I know I put a lot of hair dye in my hair in one go, but that's what gives it the texture and the colors. I will insert pictures and videos for you to see better, because I know like when I'm talking like this and you only see this one color with a little bit of flex, you're like, what is she talking about? But it does work. So mixing all those colors, even if I got the wrong hair color at the beginning, which is the blonde without bleach, it still works. So in the future, maybe if I want to maintain this hair color and go lighter, like go copper fully for fall time, then I'm definitely gonna buy a hair color with bleach and bleach it a little bit, and then again repeat the process and probably just get copper, or if I want to stay with red, I'll get copper red. So yes, going back to how I figured out how to do this, like I said, I went on YouTube, I went to see the description, what other people were linking, what other people were using, and I also went to see like TikToks where the hairdressers were talking about what they use on hair. I would also strongly advise you not dyeing your hair at home if this is the first time you ever dye your hair, if you don't really know how your hair reacts to hair dyes. But if you have and you're confident, or you know someone that could help you, then by all means go ahead. Like when I put the red hair color, my hair, like I said, is very thick, it's very heavy. It's not the longest that it's been. I've had hair up to my hips before, and now I would say it's like when it's straightened, it's below my breast area. However, like I said, I have a lot of hair, very thick hair. I have what my mom says Persian hair. So basically I needed to get my mom on board, because at that time I was so exhausted, and you could see the clip where on the second time where I had to dye with the other 4 dyes, which is the copper red and the copper color. Like I said, there's 2 split times that I dyed my hair in one day, and I'm gonna write detailed instructions in the description, just to, you know, because right now I'm just talking and rambling in between my instructions, so I want to make it as clear as possible. And like I said, it doesn't mean that this worked for me that it will work for you, but I'm just giving you an idea of what I did to achieve this. And I will also insert pictures of my hair beforehand. So anyways, going back to what I was saying, my mom helped me dye the rest of my hair because it was just too much. I had like a whole bowl of hair dye with 4 hair dyes, so 2 copper red and 2 copper dye, and I mixed them all together. So she just dumped all that in my head, not literally, but you know what I mean, like she just started with the roots, and then in the rest we had so much hair dye that she was like, this is too much, I'm just gonna put everything and hopefully it will come out nice. And it did. It came out pretty nice. I really like this hair color. I've never had hair color gone right on the first time, so I'm very happy about that. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them. I will try to respond. As I said, I will link everything down below, and I will link the step-by-step down below. This is how I basically dyed my hair copper red for only $40 at home. I hope you found this video interesting. I know it's not my typical video, but I was just like experimenting, and I was really excited to try it and see if it would work. And if it does, and if other people enjoy this video or found this helpful, I might do a second part when I have to re-dye my hair, or you know, maintain this hair color, or even go lighter. Maybe in the fall time I'll actually go for copper, not have that much red in my hair. But right now I'm really enjoying it. I'm feeling all the fall vibes, and yeah, TikTok really influenced me to like be brave and do it, because before dyeing my hair I messaged my mom and my friend, and I'm like, should I go lighter, like should I like make my hair like into like light brown, or should I go like copper red? And they're like, definitely go light brown, don't touch red, don't touch copper. But I'm glad I didn't listen. I'm glad for once the TikTok algorithm swayed me for the better. So yes, let me know down below if you've ever dyed your hair at home, and if you ever tried to dye your hair copper at home, and what are the results, how are you feeling, what would you do differently the next time. For now, I will go, and I'll see you on the next shelf. Bye. Okay, here is me putting the first hair dye color, which is the blonde color. I'm reading the instructions because I'm confused as to why there is no bleach, and then I realized I effed up and I didn't buy blonde hair color with bleach. So yes, now I'm shaking well, everything, mixing the developer with the color. Now I am untangling my hair brush by brushing everywhere. I have a lot of knots. I have a lot of knots. And now I am putting Vaseline because yes, I don't want to have color all over my face. And took a sip of coffee. Now I am just applying it everywhere on the roots, and this took so much time. I think it took me like 40 minutes just because I have a lot of hair and I wanted to get all the roots dyed, because I realized that I don't have bleach. So if I mess this up, I'm gonna start looking like Frankenstein. So I don't want to look like Frankenstein. So basically I have to make sure I get everywhere, especially on the roots, because as you can see a little bit with the light, that the lower half of my hair is light and bleached already from past bleach, past dyes. So I wasn't really worried about that. I was more worried about basically my roots showing, because my roots are always showing and they're always popping out like after 2 weeks of dye. So yes, that's what I'm doing right now, making sure. I got 20 minutes left to wait, and honestly I got the wrong one. Like, it's not bleach, so hopefully it lightened the roots, because that's all I need. And then I'm gonna put the colors after I shower and dry a bit my hair, so we can see how it looks like. Yeah, step one, and I messed up already, but who knows, maybe it will turn out all right, hopefully. So this was the result after basically drying my hair after dyeing it with the blonde. Obviously it didn't have bleach, so I'm just trying to show you how it lightened everything up, especially in the roots, although it's not really bleached or blonde. And here comes the fun part. By fun part, I mean this with the biggest of sarcasm, because basically I took the 4 box dyes of the copper red and the copper and mixed them all together in this one big gigantic bowl that I had to hold, and it was so heavy, and my poor mom had to put all that on my hair. And so yeah, I'm just like watching YouTube videos while she's laboring away, because obviously like I just didn't know how I would fit all that. But yes, now here is the result of all that dye in my hair. I'm just doing a little 360 for you. So this is the result, but I'm gonna have to show you in better lighting. Oh my god. So that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This is exactly how I dyed my hair alone with the help of my mom, obviously, for $40 at home, following a TikTok trend, ironically enough. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you on the next shelf. Bye.